Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Dan's Planes. Here we are with another update on the Something Extra electric version, or Something Extra number 3, whichever you'd like to call it. I removed the motor mounts, the aluminum motor mounts that were used for glow engine. I have plenty of these already, and these are already drilled, so nobody wants to buy them. I've found when I've tried to sell them before. Oops. So I'll just throw those in the trash can if I can make it there. So I had a metal rod that I pushed the previous blind nuts out with, then filled in the holes with wood dowel rods and thin CA. You could tell here there was a hole that was actually kind of oval, so I had to do a rod and then drill it out to do another rod. So you can see there are two rods there, kind of side by side. So then I put in the new ones based on the new motor, the electric motors mount. And these are 6/32. So I put those in the back here. Had to do some carving out a little bit of the firewall support. So those are in now. And then I realized, hey, this is electric, not glow. And I've got to consider where my prop clearance is going to be, which my prop clearance, is going to end up having the motor sitting clear out here. There we go. Clear out here so the prop can clear. So that meant I was going to have to do something. Either do standoffs for 3 inches or build a box or make another firewall up closer here. So I chose to go with offsets. So I found 3-inch 6/32 offsets. Before I did that, I kicked this around to some guys at my club. We've got a instant message channel that we contact each other and post stuff on. So I posted it out there for guys more experienced in electrics than me. Usually when I buy a plane, it's already electric, so it's already set up. So I'm not used to doing this conversion. So I wasn't sure if a 3-inch and and 6/32 would be strong enough or not, but I've been convinced that yes, they would be. And as far as the amount of work of building a box versus using these, I hear it can be about equal, maybe a little less time with these. So I just felt like going with these. I felt like it might look a little nicer too than building a box. So I went with those. So I just got these in today. I've been waiting on those. I also, for the motor, found out that I had to move the shaft, and that was an adventure. I haven't done that before. I've known about it happening, and I've heard about how to do it, but haven't done it myself. So I had to remove these washers and this retaining washer. Now I forget what the name of that is. So of course I didn't have the right tool for that because, who does? So I've got a picture of what I used to remove it. And thankfully I got it out, removed the 2 retaining screws, and then tried with a drill press to move the shaft. And that didn't work. I was cranking down on my drill press and I could not get that shaft to move. That thing was just not going to move. So I used the small vise here because I needed to be able to let the shaft go through the center. I put this on my garage concrete floor, and then I used a mallet to gently assuage, what's the word? Convince the shaft to move. So it moved, finally. So now, today I was supposed to go someplace, and I was going to pick up a wheel collar, because that's what you need on the back here. Although I doubt this thing's going to move the way it took a freaking mallet to move it. I doubt it's going to come out. But the shaft is 8 millimeters. So of course the largest wheel collar I had was an inner diameter of 1/4, and 8 millimeters is basically 5/16. So of course I would need another 1/16 more. I looked online. I could find 8 millimeters, which I've now bought, and it should be here in a couple days. But I was supposed to get one or a 5/16 when I went somewhere today, but I wasn't able to go, so that's why I now bought one. So now I'm down 2 more days on this model. And the shaft itself, actually, with micrometer, is coming in at 8.1. So I'm hoping the 8 millimeters that I bought are going to fit. If not, then hopefully I'll just drill a little bit off and get it to fit. So I am stuck on the motor until I can put the wheel collar on here. And once I get the wheel collar on here, then I can finally put the mount on. And once I put the mount on, then I can finally put the extensions in. I believe the ESC already comes with 4 millimeter 4 millimeter, why am I forgetting words when I record stuff? 4 millimeter terminals, let's call it that, or plugs. And I believe that's what the motor has too. I just got to test that. This I've got to change out because I'm planning on running 6S, maybe 5S on this. We'll see. 6S will fit, and the motor is supposed to be rated for 4 to 6S, and the ESC is rated for up to 6S. So we'll see about that. So also, that was all the happenings with the motor. So that was just the fun stuff I ran into there. So what I did for this, to make a battery hatch, let's see, yeah, that's the front. I cut along these lines, along the formers, then I cut along the edges, then I glued in scrap metal pieces on all corners, then epoxied in magnets, and then kind of sealed the edges again because of the monocoat. So now it fits in here, which is kind of hard to do left-handed, and you're also looking through the camera, but that's going to be there. So I'll still have to take off the canopy with the one screw, but that's fine, no big deal. So we'll still see where the CG is at after that. So getting closer on this project. I'll give updates as we go. Okay, I always forget something, it seems like. So when I bought this motor, they had described it as the motor was set up to where the shaft would the shaft would go in front of the firewall, which to me is a normal setup. But they said if you wanted to swap it, you could swap it so it would go into the firewall. Or I guess if you'd be using a pusher prop. But when I got it, it was not set up to go that route. And not only that, the collet that comes with it is molded this way specifically to fit on here. So if you switch the shaft around, which I had to do, then this is not going to work anymore. So now you have to get an 8mm collet and nut or spinner. So that's also on order. Then I still have a debate on whether I'm going to use 13 or 14-inch props on this, because just holding everything up by hand, doing a 14-inch prop is going to give, I swear, about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch ground clearance. Not that I've really noticed during takeoffs that the Somethin Extra lifts the tail and then takes off. It more kind of just takes off at an angle, so maybe it's okay to have that low of clearance, but we'll see. We'll see in the end. But this motor has been a cheeky little devil to get everything set up, and this has been a learning experience for converting from glow to electric. So hopefully teaching somebody else something and avoid mistakes and avoid some misses on pre-planning that I coulda, shoulda, woulda done but didn't. All right, see ya. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dan from Dan's Planes. I just want to share some content about RC planes, something I've been passionate about since childhood. I'm hoping I can teach something to someone, I can start some discussion and learn some things from others. So let's just have some fun and learn some things together. If you enjoyed what you watched, it would really help me out if you could like, subscribe, and share. And if you feel that it helped you out in some way, or it might help future viewers, I'd really appreciate it if you'd visit my Patreon page and become a patron. It's like throwing a $1 tip into a guitar case when you pass by. It helps to fund future content and future projects that I'll be working on. I plan to show some past content. I have some other flights and I have some fly-in events that I've been to. And I also plan to show future flights and future repairs, as well as building ARFs, and if I can ever get back to it, building my top flight Spitfire. So there's a lot of content to come, but it's viewers like you that are able to support what I'm doing, and by doing that, I'm able to spend more time creating that content in the future. So I'd really appreciate it. But either way, thanks for watching, and thanks for any support, and I wish you blue skies and good speed.